Today, I wanted to hop in here and share a little bit about generational trauma. You know, for many of you who don't understand generational trauma, I want to share this experiment with you. So they conducted an experiment with rats, and what they did was they shocked these rats. They shocked these rats, and what happens when the rat's shocked? It goes into fear response. And the fear response for the rat usually is trembling and defecation. Now, what they did was, as soon as they shocked the rats, they followed it up with cherry blossom spray. Kind of like the Pavlov's dog, if you've heard of Pavlov's conditioning. That's basically what they were doing with these rats. So they continued doing the shock followed by the cherry blossom spray until they just had to spray the cherry blossom spray into the cages of these rats, and they would have a fear response. They would shake, defecate. Now, they didn't stop the experiment there. What they did was they took these rats, they just stopped the shocking process, right? They no longer shocked the rats. And they took these rats and they bred these rats for 5 generations. Not just one, not just 2, 5 generations. So they took the 5th generation of rats, and what they ended up doing was they just sprayed cherry blossom spray into the cages of the 5th generation rats. And guess what happened? Yes, if you guess that these rats had a fear response, you are absolutely right. These rats ended up trembling and defecating, and these rats were never exposed to the shock. But somehow, there was a memory that was passed on generations, a memory that cherry blossom spray is dangerous. And not really either, right? But we know what Pavlov's conditioning is. But this is basically what happens with us humans too. So we don't understand generational trauma. Many of us are carrying trauma memories. We are reacting, in fact, overreacting. And even if you look at the world of war, look at the war that's happening around us. We all want peace, but how are we going to be able to bring forth the peace if all of us are operating out of fear? Because the fear response is a response of destruction. Fear causes destruction, but if each individual who has experienced ancestor trauma, generational trauma, took the responsibility for healing their individual trauma from their childhood and generations, that is truly when we are going to achieve world peace. The peace always starts from within us. And that starts with healing.